You do not need to become successful in order to become more confident. Never lose your self-respect, nor be too familiar with yourself when you are alone. Let your integrity itself be your own standard of rectitude, and be more indebted to the severity of your own judgment of yourself than to all external precepts. Desist from unseemly conduct, rather out of respect for your own virtue than for the strictures of external authority. Come to hold yourself in awe, and you will have no need of Seneca's imaginary tutor. Balthazar Gracian. One question I get asked over and over and over again, particularly from you young men, is how can I speak with more confidence? Now, there's a lot that could be said on this matter, and there's a lot that has already been said. So I am only going to leave you with one point, or gift you, benefit you with one point in this video. You've heard the term or the saying, the proverb, this is a popularized comment, that success breeds confidence. And this is true. But you don't need to become successful in any given thing to start to become more confident. And this is what I really want you to hang on to hold on to bear in mind right now. And let me repeat it again because it bears repeating. You do not need to become successful in order to become more confident, in order to speak with more confidence. But what you do need to do is, as Robert Greene outlines in his book, 48 Laws of Power, act like a king to be treated like one. And I will take that further, because acting implies almost a deception. It's not you. It's not real. Actors don't really feel the emotions that they are emoting whilst they are acting. They don't really feel it, but they act it. I will say to you this: become the king you wish others to treat you like. You see, the problem here is this, and it was outlined brilliantly in this quote that I just read to you just now from the 48 Laws of Power, and that is, desist from unseemly conduct, rather out of respect for your own virtue than for the strictures of external authority, and do not become too familiar with yourself when you are alone. Do you want to know why so many of you struggle to speak with confidence, whether it's with women or with men or in a crowd? Do you want to know why you struggle? Because you cannot expect others to take you seriously when you don't take yourself seriously. When you are alone in private and you're on your own and nobody is watching, what do you get up to? What standard do you impose upon yourself when nobody is around to judge you? What's the standard? What do you expect from yourself? Because I promise you, whatever you expect from yourself, this is what you will come to expect from others who deal with you. The reason why so many of you lack confidence is because you secretly or openly have a level of contempt for yourself. You don't like yourself, and for good reason. And this is not a self-love video, because if you are not holding yourself to a particular standard, you have no right to love yourself. You should feel a degree of contempt towards yourself. It's warranted, and it's a wake-up call. If, whilst you are in private, you are engaging in vices, whether it's masturbation, whether it's pornography addictions, even if it's something as simple as just wasting time app hopping, scrolling YouTube, scrolling your Instagram and your TikTok feeds, and just burning time away whilst you know you have work to do. You know you have work to do. You know you should do it. You know you must do it. But for whatever reason, you don't. You procrastinate. You delay. You're on the hunt for dopamine hits in the form of checking your notifications or looking for new interesting videos that can engage your attention. And all of this results in you developing and building a level of contempt for yourself. You don't like yourself. You don't respect yourself. And therefore, when you come to dealing with others, when you come to speak with others, when you come to communicate with others, when it comes time for you to convince someone to do something, to join you in something, to part money with something, you cannot infect them with the appropriate emotion because you don't hold yourself to a high degree. Because if you did, and you held yourself to a high degree, you would come to expect others to treat you in the same. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me repeat right now what I said at the beginning. You do not need to become successful in order to start breeding confidence in yourself. Does it help? Yes, sure it helps. And by success can be defined in many ways. And of course, the best definition is that of the Quran. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Successful are the believers. They are those who have khushu' in their salah. And then Allah continues with many other attributes. But from what I am speaking to or referring to right now, it's success in your business or in your job or in your career and so on. And then success with yourself in your habits and how you come to hold yourself. What standard do you have for yourself? Are you fat? Are you out of weight? Do you exercise regularly? Let me tell you something. I have a pretty good gauge on what someone thinks of themselves and the level of confidence they have in themselves purely based upon their physical appearance. Now, are there exceptions to this rule? Of course there is. Somebody said to me, oh, what about Aristotle? Aristotle was fat. And what about some few other famous philosophers and thinkers and entrepreneurs for our history? Sure, great. I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. Generally speaking, if somebody is out of shape, it's a reflection of what they think of themselves. They don't respect themselves enough to keep themselves in shape. Because if you did, you would not allow for you to be out of shape in the way that you are. And if you're feeling bad right now because this describes you, that's okay. You should feel bad. But now you have the opportunity to do something about it. You're watching this video right now. What are you going to do differently? You do not respect yourself because if you did, you wouldn't have this BMI of 35 and be fat and obese and out of shape and running out of breath after a 30-second jog or whatever the case may be. And that's just one way. How about your habits? Are you disciplined? Do you expect of yourself more than what others expect of you? Because this will gain you respect. This will gain you respect, even just in a gym setting. I see it when boys are training in a class, and you see those boys who are in the session who are really pushing themselves without anyone encouraging them or asking them. They're doing it off their own accord. They are instantly recognized by the other members of the group. Oh man, he's a beast. Oh man, check him out. Look at his cardio. Man, he's mentally tough. He's strong. You are instantly singled out. Because people recognize that. People respect that. And now they start to treat you differently. Now they start to treat you like the king that you treat yourself as. Because you have a high expectation of yourself and how you treat yourself, this emotion infects those around you. And they say to themselves, right, this is a serious guy. He has a high standard, an expectation of himself. Therefore, he is going to expect me to treat him with this same standard, with this same high level. He's not just like everyone else, some next regular dude. No, this guy's different. He's built different. He thinks different. He's wired differently. He has respect for himself. So ask yourself, how do you conduct yourself when you're in private, when you're alone? Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَيْبِ. Verily, those who fear Allah in private, لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَأَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ. I think I might have misquoted the ayah at the end. وَأَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ. Correct me in the comments if I've mentioned it incorrectly. Put the Arabic and the English translation. Those who fear their Lord in private, they will have forgiveness and a great reward. How do you conduct yourself in private? When nobody is watching. Not just with regards to, do you fear Allah, but with regards to, are you disciplined? Do you have a routine? Let me level with you. Let me just be perfectly honest with you. Usually, my routine is going to sleep at around 9:30 and then waking up at around 4:30. And I get myself a solid 7 hours of sleep. In the summertime, that gets completely thrown off. Completely thrown off. Why? Because Isha doesn't come until around 11:30. By the time I've prayed and sorted myself out and all the rest of it, I'm going to bed at 12:30, 1 a.m. Then I wake up again 3 hours later for Fajr. Then I can't go back to sleep again after I've prayed Fajr at 3:30. Not even 3 hours later, it's 2 hours later. I can't go back to sleep for another hour because it takes me a while to fall asleep. So my sleep is completely mashed up in the summer. So I'm usually waking up in the summertime around 7:30, which is extremely late. But I do this for the sake of Allah, because I'm mashing up my sleep for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Aside from that, strict routine. As soon as we get to around September time, boom, I fall back into routine again until the following March or April. It is what it is. So aside from external influences, are you disciplined? Are you in a routine? Do you go to the gym when you say you will? Do you have a diet that you stick to? Do you shove junk in your mouth? If you willingly allow yourself, your hand, to shove junk food in your mouth, it's because you think junk of yourself. You have a junky impression of yourself. If you had a high self-esteem, I say to my wife all the time, I say to her, I am very vain. I'm vain. Because, as much as she appreciates the work that I put into gym and keeping my appearance, oftentimes those things that you come to appreciate about someone, they can be very annoying. So there will be times when I go to the gym when she would like to go out and do something. Or when I'll be eating food at specific set meals and she wants to go out and have a meal and I can't participate in that meal with her. It becomes annoying. But I hold myself to that level and I expect others to respect that. And this all comes out in your communication style when you're talking to people, because you have such a high standard for yourself. When you start speaking to others, you begin infecting them with that same emotion that you have infected yourself with. Just as I am infecting you right now through this communication medium. You are not with me here. You are not sat next to me. But I know you are becoming infected with the way I'm speaking to you. Because I speak with conviction. I hold myself to a high standard, especially with regards to my body, with regards to my discipline in my work and those types of things. Do I make mistakes? Do I slack? Absolutely. Of course. You get back on the bandwagon straight away. So how do I speak with more confidence? Come to hold yourself in high regard. Come to treat yourself like a king. You hear this term being thrown around. I'm a king, you're a king, we're all kings. Well, you know what? There's some truth in that. There's some power in that. There's some benefit in that. Act like a king to be treated like one. Become the king you expect to be treated like. And it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. One day, you will become that king.